Okay, 3 employees work at the food bank. Every day, some volunteers arrive to help out. What is an expression for the number of people working at the food bank?
Do you want us to answer?
Yeah.
Oh.
How many people work at the food bank?
3. Wait, some.
Okay, so this is example 2. So an expression, we have 3 people.
That is a constant.
Okay,
Change.
constant. And then what? What don't we know?
Is the
What can we use to represent volunteers?
V.
So what do we do with the V?
3.
Is it 3 times V? 3 plus V. Okay? The number of people working at the food bank is 3 plus however many volunteers show up that day. We don't know how many volunteers show up on any given day. Okay. Simon creates this pattern of toothpick triangles. What is an expression for the perimeter of any triangle in this pattern in relation to the base? Okay, so we have this one, and then we have this one, and then we have this one.
Do you want us to draw that?
I want you to follow along. It's in the book, so
Oh,
follow along with this. What is the number that changes? The base changes.
And the sides. The perimeter.
And the perimeter changes. So what do we do? Because it's asking us for in relation to the base. What is the perimeter? What is an expression for the perimeter of any triangle in this pattern in relation to the base? So what do we do to the base to get the perimeter?
Times it by 3. No, the number of toothpicks on the base.
You times the...
1.
So if the base is 1, 1 times 1 equals the perimeter. How many is in the perimeter?
Oh, it's the base times 2.
How many is in the perimeter?
3.
So 1 times 2 equals 3.
3.
Base times 3. So 3b equals the perimeter. Now it's asked us for an expression. Should I be writing this? Why not?
Because that's not an expression.
What is it?
Equation.
Good. So the expression
The expression is
to represent the perimeter is just 3b.
3 times base.
What's this called?
A number. No, a digit. So
Yeah.
expression.
No. This is the numerical
Coefficient.
coefficient.
Coefficient on. I didn't know that. Yeah, it's a rock.
It's a big word.
It's a rock.
We don't actually have to spell that, right?
We didn't have that as spelling. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Guys.
Voice level.
So in this expression, what's the variable?
T. 4 times T. Tables.
That's not the variable.
Is that a T?
Mm-hmm. What's the variable, though?
Toothpicks.
Well, actually, I don't know what T stands for. I just chose a letter. But this is the variable. The variable is the thing that changes. It varies. The variable is represented by a letter. You need to know these terms, so I suggest you write them down. What is the constant?
A number that doesn't change.
The constant is a number that doesn't change. It is always plus or minus. Plus 9, minus 9. The constant is the number. It will never change. However, this number isn't a constant. This number affects this number. It works with this number. It is coefficient. It works with. So that multiplied by or divided by is the numerical coefficient.
Oh.
This whole thing is what?
Expression.
Good. You need to know this. Numerical coefficient, the really long one, means multiplication or division. Constant, the shorter one, addition or subtraction. Variable, the letter. You should. You will need to know this for your test. Okay, so these are the things you need to remember. The constant is always added or subtracted to the variable. The numerical coefficient is always multiplied or divided by, the variable is always multiplied or divided by the numerical coefficient.
Wait, so numerical coefficient how many times divided?
Yes, that's why it says right there.
That's why you don't write constant.
So just as you write it differently, when you're multiplying, instead of 3 times b, you write 3b. When you're dividing, instead of you writing b divided by 3, you put b over 3. The same way you would write it as a fraction.